Next, ladies and gents, Sam Coward, representing the Sunshine Coast Performing Arts and Amateur Theatre. Sam is the current president of the Sunshine Coast Theatre Alliance, the peak body uniting the region's collective local theatre groups. And as a producer, director and performer, Sam has worked for the past 17 years in the entertainment business, on both stage and screen, experiencing all facets of stage production in a dozen Queensland venues and several stages interstate. He believes it's high time to elevate the established arts scene here into a thriving arts industry. Please welcome Sam Coward.
Thank you, Rosie. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Alison, for keeping on fighting the good fight for this very, very necessary cause. Before I begin, I'd also like to thank Michael Blois for clarifying something that was confusing me. I also read the Banbury report and was a little dismayed that there was no allocation for a theatre. But as I was actually led to believe in the beginning, after several feasibility studies had gone around the track and fallen over, I actually thought it was actually the Bradbury report, and it was Stephen Bradbury who'd been in charge of writing this, and was actually just the last feasibility study standing, and got the gong. So thank you for clearing that up, Michael, much appreciated. The Sunshine Coast is on the precipice of a cultural revolution, and I say that in no small way. We have 12 active theatre companies on the Sunshine Coast, and I think that may be a shock to a lot of people. That's actually double what currently exists in Brisbane, our state's capital. These 12 active theatre companies last year alone sold 50,000 tickets at an average ticket price of $20 a ticket, which, as a local group of amateur theatre producers and people giving their own time and efforts, put $1 million into this local economy. So it is high time that this hobby, this arts and creative industry, is indeed considered an industry and taken seriously. The population stats that have been mentioned previously, I was going to mention, so you stole my thunder, but you're exactly right. We're the 10th largest population as of June this year. Now, the 10th largest population in Australia with facilities second rate and in some instances third rate behind Mackay? Really? Is that true? I mean, this is just a fright that we don't have the support or haven't had ourselves considered seriously. I still think, and many people still believe, we're the sleepy little fishing village we were 30 years ago. Now, when my family moved to the Sunshine Coast 32 years ago, that's what it was. But a lot of things have matured and changed since then, and it's high time that our facilities did as well. As a tourist destination, and there was mention made before about the things that attract people to the coast. Now, for those of you who'll think back, I think we've actually gone backwards in terms of our tourist attractions. For those of you who may remember Nostalgia Town, Olympia Theme Park, Superbeard, Deer Sanctuary, to name but a few. Now, if it weren't for our gorgeous sandy beaches and the latte set that has grown along the foreshore, we don't have a lot to offer in terms of the built environment. And if our natural, heaven forbid, if our natural wonders ever take a hiding, we're in deep trouble and needing and finding new ways of attracting people to our region. Visitors and tourists alike are becoming more discerning. And with a population nearing 350,000, we need to be offering more opportunities than currently exist. A study was recently done on the number of people who travel to Brisbane to see cultural events, and this was held through QPAC Performing Arts, La Boite Theatre, Metro Arts, and indeed the Powerhouse Theatre. Now, those organisations show that 1 in 14 people travel from the Sunshine Coast to Brisbane to attend these sorts of shows. Now, it's obviously quite insulting that when 1 in 45 people attend local shows. Now, the reason being is it a standard, is it a quality? Well, we'll never know whilst we never have a facility that can give the people of the Sunshine Coast the opportunity to perform in. So I am a strong advocate for the performing arts growing up, maturing and being considered an industry that it is, with local talent that is growing every day and leaving our shores and leaving our coast and making a wonderful name for themselves in the industry, interstate and overseas. We need to create an opportunity, an incubator, a breeding ground for our locals. Currently, there are 500 students under the age of 14 years of age in one of the 8 youth theatre groups on the Sunshine Coast. These 500 people have decided that they have a passion and an interest in the performing arts. Where will they go when they finish? Well, we're hoping now with the Sunshine Coast putting a performing arts course in their curriculum that there will be at least some further education for them. But beyond that, there is not a single job I can think of on the Sunshine Coast for a performing artist to maintain a sustainable income. And for a region with 350,000 people in it, that is a travesty in itself. Alison, I concur wholeheartedly with your sentiment around a cultural heart and a cultural hub. In this digital age, in this time when capitalism and politics are becoming yesterday's news, it is only things that truly create and bond communities together that need to be supported. There are enough things and there are enough people, industries and academics tearing things down in our society. But those who can rally and truly build something special together, creating community once again, will be a community that I want to be a part of and continue to prosper in. Thank you for your time.